Rob G., the federal government, it seems like, has been jumping into a lot of sports business lately. We've had a couple of conversations. Now, the NFL is in their way.
Yeah, the war on football continues, just in a different way. The DOJ has begun an investigation into whether or not the NFL has violated anti-competitive practices with its TV contracts because they require consumers to also pay subscription costs to watch some games. A government official told ABC News, quote, "This is about affordability and creating an even playing field for providers." Now, as you guys know, the NFL currently has TV deals with ESPN, ABC, NBC Sports, CBS Sports, Prime Video, and Netflix. That's not counting the games that are also on Peacock exclusively or ESPN Plus exclusively. Now, guys, we talked about this last season before the season even started. To watch every game in the NFL season for 2025, you would have had to have gotten at least a half a dozen streaming services and YouTube TV if you didn't have a local cable provider. Now, there's conflicting reports about how much it would have cost. Some saying it could have cost you up to $1,500 to watch every game. USA Today said, no, if you do this deal and you manipulate this and you get certain,
that tells
incentives,
you I ain't watching. I'm not going to pay all that money. I'm straight up.
You could get it for as low as, if you know how to work the system, $650.
All right, I got two things, and I'm just going to be blunt about it. The DOJ, right?
Mm-hmm.
They should be going after a professional sports league. But it shouldn't be the NFL first on the list.
Who should it be?
And so if they're serious, and this is not a revenge tour by the president, because they turned him down. You remember he tried to buy the Buffalo Bills, and they wanted. They were like, they didn't even entertain him. They were like, no, you can't have a team. So if this is not a revenge tour, and this is not the DOJ, like trying to get at the NFL for the past, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then the league that the DOJ should be going after is the NBA. That is the league that should be investigated when it comes to customers and not doing right by their customers, and because they have a lot of it. They also have the streaming platforms, but what they also have that's worse is the idea of bait and switch, false advertising, and selling a product, right, that doesn't always deliver. We got a national game tonight, don't we, Rob G? And who's not playing tonight?
That would be Steph Curry against the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And we just have it. We're basketball fans. How many nights do we go,
well, I think we're looking at one now. Aren't we with Jaylen Brown out?
Jaylen Brown's out.
Yeah, the Celtics Knicks.
Just every night. Every night. Oh, yeah, we can't wait to watch this. I mean, like, seriously. It's unfair to customers. You can do that. You want to take a night off and he's healthy, a healthy scratch? You can do that. Give me my money back. Let me turn in my tickets for another day. That's what the government should be looking at and demanding from the NBA. I can't pay $500 for me and my kid to go to the game. If I'm a Knicks fan, right, and I'm a Boston fan, and I'm in New York, right? I live in New York and work there. My kid, and I go to see Jaylen Brown tonight, and he's healthy, but they're not playing him tonight. I don't know if he's hurt or not. Is he hurt, Rob G? Jaylen Brown? I know they say he's hurt, but you know
like
what I mean.
Real hurt.
Like real hurt.
Yeah.
It's not fair. I just shelled out $1,000 for me and a kid to go watch the game. What do? The NBA sells what? Individual stars. Come see LeBron James. Come see Luka. Come see SGA. And then you go come see Steph. And then you go. They're not playing. They're not hurt. We understand in sports. Some nights people are going to be hurt. The biggest stars in baseball. You want to look up how many games Shohei and Aaron Judge played? How many games do you think they missed last year total? 162 games. They probably missed a total of 10 together. Mm-hmm. They play every night. They are the stars that people want to see. Shohei, can you imagine him going to some town and not playing? And people can understand if he takes 5 or 6 games off a year, right? A blow, or they got a day off or whatever and decide. That's what they should be investigating. And now the NBA, all their games, I don't know where their games are. Most of them are on streaming, right? You got to pay. You got to be a Prime member. You got to do this. You got to subscribe to that. So for them to go after the NFL first, and I'm not saying the NFL's not without something.
Yeah.
The NBA, to me, should be in the crosshairs of the DOJ.
Well, a couple of things. The reason why they're going after the NFL, you alluded, you said if it's not for that, but it is. I do think there is a revenge tour. I do think this administration has some smoke with the NFL. And it goes back to the first administration when you had players kneeling and their SOBs and then even Jerry Jones kneeled down. It was just a bunch of chaos. You remember that back in 2015, 16, that whole run there, year and a half or so it was. And then obviously you add in Colin Kaepernick. It was just a lot going on. You mentioned the fact that the current president wanted to have the Buffalo Bills, didn't happen. So I think there is an element of when I can jab at the NFL, whether something happens or not, but if I can jab at them, make life hard a little bit, I will. So I think that does play a role for sure. You would question and wonder if the DOJ has some other things to do, instead of jumping into this. And I will say this, the reason why it's also easier if this is with merit, to go after the NFL is because I can't look at players and tell them they're not hurt. I can't look at Jaylen Brown and then say his ankle isn't sore. I can't look at, like you said, Steph Curry and be like, no, he's coming back from injury. He needs a day because he's dealing with this. I can't tell Kawhi Leonard he's not as hurt as he really says that he is. And so I think it's hard to go after NBA players because you're dealing with the human body. And I can't be the one telling somebody, hey, they're hurt, you're not hurt, doing that. The NFL, when you have things that you can quantify.
Yes, you can. Let me say what it's simple. And the NBA is afraid to do it. You know this. You do the Dodgers pre- and post-game. Mm-hmm. You're hurt, miss game, you got to go on the IL, and you got to miss a minimum of 10 days. Mm-hmm. That's what you have to miss if you're hurt, if you're not playing. Okay? NBA, You're out. You want to take a night off? That's fine. You need to miss three games. It would stop people from doing that. Or you want to give people you don't play, put zeros on their stat lines. You want to put zeros across the board? You can stop it. The idea that when they look at the schedule and they schedule games off, it's not fair to people who buy tickets.
I don't disagree with that, but the challenge is
days off. I'm not saying that's what they do, and they're not even hiding anymore. What do they call it? Like something leg management. Like they call it that.
Yeah.
They don't call it he's got a. Now Jaylen Brown, they're saying he has. I
mean, listen, Jaylen Brown has played incredibly hard. He's
right.
carried.
They're saying he has something, but what I'm saying, when they take nights off, it ain't fair to the fans.
But the challenge with that is, in comparing it to baseball, it is a more demanding sport. So how do you do when someone? I know I'm not arguing that, but I'm saying if somebody does need a night, I think we're all okay with that.
Okay, but if they need a night,
when it's becoming a regular thing, that's when it's an issue. When it becomes, again, when we're having arguments, people are saying begging that the threshold drops down because they can't play 66 games.
No, but here's
that's a problem.
But that talks about your argument. You're saying if they need a night, that's why they put in the 65 game, because it's not just a night.
No, I'm saying right. I'm saying we understand if you need a night. We're not saying you have to play all 82.
No. That's not it's not all 82.
But when it becomes that you could, but you'd rather not, that's a problem. When it becomes, well, like you mentioned, scheduled, well, we got to fly out and we already play them and they're tanking. Well, there's people in that city. They might not even care about their own team because they're taking it back. They came to see you, Jordan, Kobe, Shaq, LeBron, Steph. It's the one time I get to see Allen Iverson. And if he were just, I don't feel like playing tonight because they stink.
And it's their birthday. Those are the tickets.
I bought my 13-year-old son tickets to go see.
Exactly.
To go see Steph. And he chose, the Wizards suck, so I'm not playing tonight.
We can win without me tonight.
That would be bad. But to put a button on the NFL, why I think the DOJ is pursuing something NFL, because to be paying, Rob G said up to $1,500 if you want to watch every NFL game. And there's only 17. It's crazy. And then to say, well, no, if you do this, you buy this package, you make a deal, you can get it down to $670, $80, whatever it was. For 17 weeks is crazy. And I think that's why they're probably, if this is, again, without being a revenge tour, if this is based off some type of merit, I think there is an element of, okay, you can't be taxing people and dictating your network television, cable, streaming, like you can't have all of that on lock, and it almost becomes a monopoly where I can't watch this sport without shelling out nearly $1,000. So if it's based off the economics of it, I see why they would go after them versus the other leagues. Because at least Rob G said it's like 300 some for the NBA. At least you're getting 82 games. If it's MLB, at least I'm getting 162 games. 17 weeks, and you're shelling out that much, I can see why they're concerned for the consumer. If it's not the revenge tour.
And the Jaylen Brown is out with left Achilles tendonitis, and he played 43 minutes just 2 days ago. So, I just want to make sure that we're not picking on him.
No, that's why I said Jaylen Brown doesn't fit this mold.
But you get my point, though, is that people pay big money for games, and it's easy for me to sit up here and guys like us who might be able to get in for free or cover the game or whatever. Like, those are the real people going out paying their hard-earned money, and I think it's unfair.
And it's too common, Rob. Where it's too acceptable.
It's too acceptable. Like, even like a Steve Kerr poo-poo like fan. Oh well, where we got to do what's right for us. Really? Like the fans don't matter.
You played with Jordan, Steve Kerr. And Jordan wasn't doing that.
Jordan played every game his last season, every single game.
Yeah, it's too acceptable. That's my issue. Again, if it were an anomaly, one or two guys, it's just for whatever reason, like not everybody's going to be fully healthy, right? We've seen that throughout the history of sports.
If somebody's hurt, but that's my point on how you weed out a night off is making. So if you're really hurt, we're not going to question you. You say you're hurt. You get 3 games off to get healthy. So you have to really say to yourself,
I'm really hurt to take these 3 off.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like I have to take. I'm really hurt. Okay, we're not going to question you. You got 3 games to get healthy. If you're just want a night off, you might want to take the night off against the Wizards, but the next 2 games are against 2 good teams. Can you afford to miss those games for your team? It makes you make an honest decision. Are you hurt? Or do you want the night off? There's a big difference between the two.
Yeah, I agree. I just think we made it too commonplace.
I'm going to talk to Adam Silver. I am. I think that's the solution. I really believe
if I'm playing Adam Silver in this, the pushback would be, well, those three games now you're saying, but what if they really just needed that night? Now the fans of the other 2 cities are missing out on seeing Steph,
but then
right? I would rather give them the night.
But now I know.
Lose him for 3 nights.
But now I know he's not playing before he gets here. Now I could try
I bought my tickets for little Johnny's birthday
and then
3 months ago.
Yeah, but now we have a chance where now you should also be able to, along with that, allow fans not to get their money back, but to swap for another game. Do you know what I mean? Because that's the part. You don't get money back, but you'll be able to do something. You know what I mean? Where swap them, do something so that you're not left holding the bag. All right. We'll work it up. I'll talk to Adam.
All right, talk to him. You are right on his list. When you call, you are going to the front of the list of people he has to talk to. All right, Rob, so they're watching us right now, which means another thing they can do is what?
They can subscribe. All you got to do is hit that button, subscribe to The Odd Couple for some of the best sports talk content in the nation.
Facts. And while you're at it, they can like, they can comment, they can share. Do all that for us. We appreciate it. Just do all that right up in here.